An up and down season saw us miss out on Premier League glory by just 1 point, but a second place finish was enough to secure Champions League football for the first time in Aston Villa's history. And armed with a renewed sense of optimism, I'm hoping to go to the next level this season. But as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. So here we go then, it's the start of season 2, and we have plenty of work to do. After the relatively positive end to last season, it's no surprise to see that the board's expectations have started to raise, but even I wasn't expecting them to raise so much so quickly, as they are expecting us to win the Premier League title this season, win the FA Cup, and reach the Champions League final in our first season in the competition. And so in order to do all those things, a European campaign has given us a European-sized budget, £180 million to spend. And we've got a few key areas in the squad that I especially would like to spend it on. Now, there can be no doubt that the 84 rated Pau Torres is my biggest and strongest centre-back, and at 27 years of age, he's only just about to reach his peak. Now, there's no doubt that Diego Carlos had a sensational campaign last season, but with him being 31 years of age, there can be no doubt that he is edging towards the latter end of his career. He fought all season long with this man Ezri Konsa for that right-sided centre-back position, but with both of them only being rated 81, perhaps that is a key area that I will need to improve this season. With 15 goals and 8 assists in 41 appearances across all competitions, Nicolo Zaniolo absolutely lit up the lights of Villa Park last season. But with his loan spell up and him returning to Galatasaray ahead of the new season, and with Jacob Ramsey, despite him being a left-sided midfield player, playing his best football in the centre of the park, it has left me with only Wilfred Gnonto as the only player who can play on the left-hand side of my midfield. And finally, despite me having the likes of Jacob Ramsey, Yuri Tielemans and John McGinn, all whom are able to play in the centre of the park, I really do feel like I need to make a statement signing and try and bring someone in who can take this team to the next level. And so it is that position that I think I'm going to kick off this brand new campaign with. Now, I'm looking for someone who's young enough to have the potential to continue their development at the club, but old enough to have enough experience, ideally with Champions League football. And fortunately enough for me, I think I have found that very man. He's someone who not only has experience in Portugal with Porto and France with PSG, but someone who also has Premier League experience, having been on loan with Wolverhampton Wanderers a few seasons ago. Yes, that's right, it is a central midfielder who will be desperate to return back to the Premier League, and someone who has ample experience across top-flight football in Europe and in the Champions League. Vitina joins Aston Villa Football Club for £48.7 million. He's a man who can immediately come in and announce himself as the best player in the heart of my midfield. He's got fantastic stats right across the board, and he's got good high attacking and defensive work rate. He will slot very nicely right into my starting 11, and it's the perfect way to kick off the summer transfer window. Now, every good team is built on solid foundations, and that is where I'm turning my attention to next. Now, I'm really looking for someone who can come in, immediately improve the team, and form a formidable partnership at the back with Pau Torres. And again, I think I found just the man for the job. Having racked up over 100 appearances in the Bundesliga for Bayern Leverkusen, he is another man who has all the attributes possible to be a world-class defender in the English Premier League, and another person who will be desperate to impress in the Premier League itself. That is right, it is this man, Edmund Tapsoba, who joins Aston Villa Football Club for £39.5 million to become our second transfer of the summer. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, and he's got great technical, mental and physical stats to boot. I think he is going to be the perfect person to come in and form a fantastic partnership at the back with the Spaniard Pau Torres. Now, I mentioned at the back end of the last episode that this man, Nicolo Zaniolo, would be my top target come the start of the second season, and at only just under £40 million, I certainly think he is someone that we can afford. However, having built up my shortlist and tried to look across Europe for some of the best talent who can play on the left-hand side of midfield, there is one man in particular whom I am incredibly excited about, and that is this man, Nico Williams. At approximately about £57 million, once again, he is definitely someone whom I believe I could afford. And look at this for pace. The physical, the mental and the technical stats are all absolutely through the roof. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Should I stick by this man Nicolo Zaniolo and bring him back to the promised land of Villa Park? Or should I look to branch out and go for one of the most exciting young talents that are across Europe right now in this man Nico Williams? Let me know down below what you think. With all our incoming sorted so far though, it's time to focus on the outgoings, and to be honest, there is only one key outgoing that is departing the club this summer. summer, and that is this man, Tyrone Mings, a stalwart at Aston Villa over the last few years, but his time has come as we look to move to the next level. He departs to Brighton Football Club for almost £11 million. Speaking of Brighton Football Club, this man, Pervis Estupiñán, was brought in from that club at the start of last season, and he has been a revelation at the back for us so far in this career mode. However, with the big club in Manchester City coming in with a £36.1 million, I'm sure he will be knocking on my door desperate to perhaps move. But with us being in the Champions League this season, I think he has at least one more season left to offer us before we consider moving him on to a bigger club. So I'm going to reject the offer for now, and hopefully he won't come back to bite us. And speaking of Manchester City, with the squad seemingly in a good place heading into the start of the new season, it is the Citizens who we will be kicking off this brand new campaign against in the Community Shield for our first opportunity of silverware this season. And with a new season comes the new starting 11, and as you will see, the majority of the original heads are still in it, with a few changes. Martinez starts in goal, Matty Cash on the right, Tabsoba will make his Aston Villa debut, Pau Torres partners him in defence with Estupiñán on the left hand side, Kamara is partnered in midfield by Jacob Ramsey and Vitina, who is the second man to make his debut here today. Leon Bailey starts on the right, Wilfred Gnonto starts on the left, and Jimenez comes in up front to start ahead of Ollie Watkins, who drops to the bench. Vitina with his first touch in an Aston Villa shirt, and he lays it off to the defensive midfielder Kamara, who wriggles away from trouble and is going to try and fire a ball over to the left hand side to Estupiñán, who picks it up in a really nice position. Already I realise I've made a mistake with the kits. I forgot to check them, and I'm losing sight of who my players are and where they are, and that is shown there as Oscar Bob wins the ball back cleanly, and now Manchester City can try and break with Erling Haaland in a dangerous pocket of space to bring the ball forward. He's unopposed and unchallenged here. He continues his run, tries to get into the box. This is sensational from Erling Haaland, and then he gets the strike all wrong, totally unlike the Norwegian. What on earth was he doing? But Cancelo came across, Wilfred Gnonto defending well though, and it goes out for a Manchester City throw. Gnonto now to try and lead the counter-attack here. Look at the space he's got into. He's got acres of space to run, and he continues down this left-hand side, cuts it back inside for Jimenez, who takes it on his left, loses a bit of momentum, and in the end it's a good piece of defending from Manchester City, but Jimenez wins it back and strikes and puts it wide. Oh my word, he cannot believe it. He will not get a better opportunity here today. He won the ball back right on the penalty spot, and he made an absolute hash of the strike. I am furious. It remains 0-0. Jack Grealish, I'm sure, eager to do some damage against his former club as he cuts it back into the left-back Sergio Gomez. Now it's Erling Haaland once again who picks it up. The danger man so far for Manchester City. Grealish back into Fiorini now, I believe it is. He now trying to look for someone in the box. Can't find anyone. Instead finds Sergio Gomez. Now Kevin De Bruyne, the man who I definitely don't want on the ball. But it's a brilliant, brilliant challenge. And now we can try and strike while the iron's hot. Lovely play from Jimenez into the path of Estupiñán. And Estupiñán now has acres of space. Feeds it into Jacob Ramsey, who takes it on his left. What a save from Ederson. Absolutely fabulous stuff. And in the end, it's cleared away by the Manchester City defenders. Now Torres goes short to Estupiñán. I can't help but feel like that was a big opportunity and a real big let-off for Manchester City. I've just got to hope that we do not live to regret that miss, as Matty Cash now has an opportunity to throw it into the box. Looks for the back post, looking for Wilfred Gnonto. Manchester City, though, do enough to get it clear, but Jacob Ramsey again wins it high, feeds it back into Jimenez, looking to do a bit better this time, but it's saved well by Alisson yet again. Going to be a corner almost on the stroke of half-time, which Jacob Ramsey's going to take. He flings it into the box, looking for the head of Kamara, who lifts it over the bar. Well, we are 45 minutes down, and still neither team able to break the deadlock. It's been a tight affair, but of the two teams, I have to admit, I think I've had the better chances so far, but we have not been able to take them. Can we do a better job here in the second half, as Leon Bailey tried to feed a ball through to the on-rushing Matty Cash? Didn't do a good enough job, and now Manchester City can try and strike back. McAtee now to bring it forward. He's being chased down by Tabsoba. De Bruyne feeds it across to Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. Really nicely done. Matty Cash comes across, though. Brilliant piece of defending, and then it ends up going out for a Manchester City throw. They keep the ball alive, though. Fiorini on the left-hand side. Just tries to ghost past Matt Cash, and now tries to feed a ball into Grealish. Grealish into Haaland. Haaland strikes off of Pau Torres. Manchester City corner. Going to be De Bruyne who is going to take the corner, and he goes short to that man Grealish. Wilfred Gnonto, though, doing a really good job of coming across to defend deep inside his own half, and he's now going to try and bring the ball forward yet again because of the kick clash. I'm really struggling to see what players I have forward. Leon Bailey is the only man. He's tussling with Gomez. He can't get there ahead of him, though. Haaland for City. How many options has he got ahead of him? Twisting, turning, finding McAtee in a really nice pocket of space. He goes and gives it away, though, cheaply to Estupinian, who can now try and bring the ball down this left-hand side. Feeds a lovely ball into Jacob Ramsey, who takes it really well, and now feeds it into Wilfred Gnonto. Can he try and burst into the box here? Checks back onto his right. This is his opportunity to try and stake a claim in the starting 11, but he makes an absolute hash of that, and Manchester City get it clear. Nice pass into De Bruyne. De Bruyne releases João Cancelo. It's Tapsoba, though, on his debut to come across with a crunching challenge. Brilliant stuff. That is exactly why I bought him, and now Wilfred Gnonto can bring it forward. Gnonto across, and again blocked off by Diaz. 70 minutes on the clock, and it is time to make a whole host of changes. Several players going off, several players coming on, and hopefully we can try and spark some life into this tie that is stuck at 0-0 so far. But it's Moussa Diaby, the substitute, who is going to take the corner. He swings it in, looking for Kamara with the head. Over the bar again. Jack Grealish deep inside his own half. Doesn't seem to know where he's going, and instead it's just hacked away by the Manchester City defenders. Uncharacteristic from them, but Rodri, very characteristic from him, wins the ball back high up the field. Now Sergio Gomez releases Rodri yet again. The central defensive midfielder tries to strike, but Tapsoba, who has been absolutely pin perfect on his debut, does another brilliant challenge, and now releases Tielemans. Kamara now to try and play it over the top into the path of the substitute McGinn. He takes it down with his head really nicely, bursts into the box and strikes with his left. What a save from the goalkeeper off the bar, and it bounces off Diaby for a Manchester City goal kick. Just 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining on the clock, and once again neither team able to break the deadlock, and yet again we do seem like the most likely to do so, but it's now Haaland and Manchester City who are locked inside our half as they try and see if they can get a late winner. Akanji tries to bring it out of defence, goes past a few players in my midfield, continues, gives it to Sergio Gomez. He finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne is not the man who I want the ball to play to. Jack Grealish now. Jack Grealish turns away from Sacha Boey, feeds it across. Brilliant, brilliant challenge from Alex Moreno. McGinn now, can he try and release someone? No, he can't. Gives the ball away as the referee blows for full time. Well, there's no extra time in the Community Shield. We go straight to penalties. And as you can see, Manchester City take an early 1-0 lead. Tapsoba on his debut to step up, and he misses a penalty on his debut. Manchester City with De Bruyne to try and go 2-0 up. They don't. My word, the saves are coming thick and fast here. Yuri Tielemans now to step up. Brilliant penalty, and he levels the scores here at Wembley. Sergio Gomez now for City sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 2-1 Manchester City, and they are back in the ascendancy. Alex Moreno, the other left-back for us, though, this time goes straight down the middle. And again, we level the scores at 2-2. It's Phil Foden to step up now. And again, he sends the keeper the wrong way. A little dink to the right-hand side, and a brilliant penalty from the young Englishman. Ollie Watkins on as a substitute, straight down the middle. And again, the keeper dives the wrong way. 3-3, neither team willing to give up their lead here today. Rodri with an absolute whopper of a penalty, buried it into the top right-hand corner, and now Wilfred Gnonto, his opportunity to stake his claim in the starting 11 with a good solid penalty to bring the scores to 4-4, and now we head into sudden death. McAtee sends Martinez the wrong way. It's the opportunity now for Kamara, my central defensive midfielder, to step up and see if he can send Ederson the wrong way. No, he doesn't. Ederson with a big save, and Manchester City are the team to win the first piece of silverware in this brand new season. Kamara had the cojones to step up when others wouldn't, but it was a poor penalty, and it is one that Manchester City are grateful for as Kevin De Bruyne lifts the Community Shield, and it's a fantastic start to the new season for the Manchester club. Another cup competition goes by, and it's another one that slips away from us. 5-4 on penalties. Manchester City claim the Community Shield. Fortunately enough for me, though, it isn't exactly a competition that the board are demanding that we win. But a first piece of silverware for the majority of these players, and the first piece of silverware in my managerial campaign at Aston Villa, I'm sure would have been a great kick-start for us to try and achieve our goals this season. However, with the start of a brand new Premier League campaign ahead of us, it is time to put any negativity to one side as we face off at St James's Park against a Newcastle team who absolutely smashed Aston Villa in the first game of the season in real life. We will be eager to make sure that we do not suffer the same fate here today. The start of the new season means a return to my strongest starting 11, and that means Martinez is in goal. Sacha Boey starts at right back. Tapsoba will make his Premier League debut. Pau Torres and Estupinian make up the back four. Kamara is partnered by Jacob Ramsey and Vitina, who too makes his Premier League debut. Diaby starts on the right. Leon Bailey starts on the left, and Ollie Watkins starts up front. Here we go then. An exciting and exhilarating campaign is about to follow. One that the board are desperate for us to actually go ahead and win the entire thing. Can we go one step further than we were able to last season? But if we want to, we're going to have to start a lot better than we have done at the moment, with Newcastle attacking our box, headed away by Kamara, headed away almost by Jacob Ramsey. In the end, we lose it, and we are under pressure here in the opening 10 minutes. Unal has it for Newcastle, well intercepted by Sacha Boey, and now we've got to try and see if we can launch a counter-attack here. He plays it into the path of the electric Frenchman, and in the end he just strays offside though. Anthony Gordon blocked off by Vitina, who will be eager to make an impression in front of the Aston Villa faithful here in English football. He's done a brilliant job of tracking back on Gordon. Really good stuff from the Portuguese man. Now he plays the ball forward into Moussa Diaby. Diaby trying to turn, wriggle away from several challenges, and he releases Sacha Boey down this right hand side. Brilliant piece of play. He dinks it in, looking for Leon Bailey at the back post. Gets the cross all wrong. Tacked away by the Newcastle defenders. Ronaldo for Newcastle. He's got an option up ahead of him. Instead cuts back in for Javier Guerrera. Lovely play there. Anthony Gordon now bringing in centrally. He finds Unal. Unal looking to go past Edmund Tapsoba, but he chases him all the way. Brilliant piece of defending from the young defender. And now Leon Bailey is released. He definitely has the pace to get away from the Newcastle defenders. Cuts it back in for Ollie Watkins. Shifts it onto his right. Strikes. Brilliant strike. What a way to open his and Aston Villa's campaign at the start of this new season. Well, we're only 25 minutes into the new campaign, and perhaps we've already got a contender for goal of the season. Look at this for a finish on the edge of the box. Oh my word, he absolutely curled it into the top right-hand corner. It was pin perfect, gave the keeper no chance. It's 1-0 Aston Villa. Well, what a way to start, and what a way to respond to a disappointing opening game against Manchester City in the Community Shield. But we've got to make sure that we keep our heads and we don't lose concentration here as Newcastle, try to bring the ball forward. And now it's Minter into Kieran Trippier down the right-hand side. Look at the space he's got. He's found Unal in the box, unmarked. Brilliant save by Martinez. But again, just as I said, we fell asleep there. We've got to be careful. Newcastle looking to strike back with immediate effect. Into Anthony Gordon. Again, Tapsoba. Look at that aggressive. Really well done. And he plays it into the path of Moussa Diaby. And now look at the space he's got to run into. Feeds a ball across, looking for Leon Bailey at the back post. It was well read by Nick Pope. Edmund Tapsoba. Lovely again. Defence splitting pass. That man has been brilliant at the heart of my defence so far this game. Vitina, nice little pass into Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins takes it on. Ollie Watkins, what a fabulous way to get his second and our second goal of this game. Well, Vitina on his debut will get the assist. It was a lovely pass into Watkins, but he still had a lot to do. And with his weaker foot, just slid a wonderful strike past the goalkeeper. Eddie Howe is furious. It's 2-0. Bruno Guimaraes to try and bring this one out of midfield for Newcastle and try and inject some form of life into what has been a very abject display from the North East club so far, as the Longstaff now tries to bring it down the right-hand side. He's being chased down by Pau Torres, and I've got a feeling that those two at the heart of my defence are about to form a formidable partnership, as Martinez almost runs himself into trouble there, and he does in fact end up giving the ball away to Bruno Guimaraes, and now he brings it into the box. But that man Tapsoba, my word, he has been absolutely brilliant on his debut. Newcastle have a corner here, one they're going to go short for. They fake the short, they send it into the box. Pau Torres with a leaping header. It's fed out to Longstaff on the edge of the box, though. Sven Botman lines up a strike. What a strike! A fantastic strike with his weaker foot from the centre-back, and from the outside of the box, he gives Newcastle a lifeline here. Well, it was bouncing around all over the place. We didn't come out to shut him down quickly enough, and he struck from distance, and it was through a crowd of bodies. Perhaps Martinez's sight was just out of line. Much to my frustration, Newcastle back in this game. It's 2-1. And Botman, the goal scorer, wriggling away from the press of Leon Bailey. It's now Moussa Diaby who's trying to press Guimaraes. Dan Burn now has it. Plays it into the feet of Ronaldo on the left-hand side. Newcastle have their tails up here. They are sensing their way back into this game. They know they've got an opportunity. Brilliant play from the left-back here. Tapsoba, though, once again in the right place at the right time. Comes across. My word, what a defensive performance from him. And now Moussa Diaby releases Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins checks inside. He's looking for his hat-trick. What a defence-saving challenge from Dan Burn. As if he hadn't done that, Ollie Watkins would have been through for his hat-trick. Absolutely unbelievable stuff from the Newcastle defender. Jacob Ramsey out to Sacha Boey, though. He has an opportunity to feed in a ball. He does, looking for the back post. Sven Botman's there, though. Aston Villa corner. Jacob Ramsey is going to be the man to take it. Just under 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Kamara comes across with a big header. It was a good header, but it was straight into the arms of Nick Pope. However, despite a late scare from Newcastle, we do enough to see out the game and to get to the final whistle, where we secure a huge 3 points at the start of this campaign. That man, Ollie Watkins, was absolutely sensational from start to finish. As it ends here at St James's Park, Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 2. A brilliant start to the new campaign for this man, Ollie Watkins. He had a bit of a slow start to last season, but he is making amends today. 2 goals in his first Premier League campaign, an 8.9 rating, and he will be eager to continue his fine form from last season. A shout out must go to this man, Edmund Tapsoba, though, an absolute rock at the heart of my defence. A fantastic performance and a fantastic display alongside this man, Pau Torres. I am very, very confident ahead of the new season that these two can form a formidable partnership at the heart of the centre of my defence. And with us following up that victory with another one, a 2-1 win at home to Everton, with Vitina getting on the score sheet for the first time in an Aston Villa shirt. We are starting this season exactly where we left off the last one. We sit in second place with 6 points to our name, and of course our title rivals from last season, Manchester City, lead the way on goal difference after 2 games played. However, with £128 million still left in the transfer budget and about a week remaining until the transfer window slams shut, I need to make a serious decision as to who I want to bring in to play on the left-hand side of my midfield. Let me know again what you think down in the comments below. Would you like to see Zaniolo return to the club? Do you want me to bring in the hottest young talent across Europe in Nico Williams? Or would you like to see a completely new name don the Aston Villa shirt? But that is it for the end of today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.